Hello.
We're here for a Renovatio celebration.
Yes.
And we've not only got the three of us here, I'm joined with Helena and Marina, but also we have a beautiful video that shares a little bit of a context. It's a beautiful, soft video that really gives a taste of Renovatio. But maybe we'll just start off, and each of you can share what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? We always talk about it like a state of mind. It's hard
Mhm.
for us to see it as an event on the timeline anymore. We kind of have gone past that. But yeah, what is it for you in the moment?
Well, I was just praying before live, and actually, I was thinking the image of a butterfly was coming to my mind. Like when I was thinking, yeah, what is it like? How does it feel like? The renewal. Renovatio is rebirth, renewal, and that was the image that came to my mind. I thought, oh yeah, that lightness, like you shed off that cocoon or that skin, and you feel the lightness of the present moment. Like yeah, even like it's not living in the past, it's not being occupied in the future, it's like what is it right now, and feeling that aliveness of the spirit. I feel that's what it means to me. Renovatio is feeling alive in the spirit, and that prayer in my heart to feel that every moment, and to it's just this morning I was talking, so yeah, it's just like taking a risk. It feels like it may be like letting go of the past and being so okay, what is it now, and let go of everything we think we know, or even what I think I know about my brothers and sisters, what I think I know about myself, and really come fresh to this moment. And yeah, I know we're going to talk about it a bit more, but even the where the retreat is going to be held at the monastery, which is so beautiful. It's so vast. It's like I don't know, any just the scenery of it just gives you that spaciousness of mind, like to let it go, like to come and to feel, just to drop into the present moment. I feel that's really what it is for me. I love the symbol. It's a beautiful symbol.
Mm,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole new world of perception. I like the song, like a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. So yeah, I feel like that's the invitation of the spirit to come into this new, fresh state of mind where everything feels so expansive and clear and pristine, and then there is no trace of the past, and then there is a full recognition of who you are and feel alive, like Helena was saying, but recognizing our worth and our innocence and feeling the playfulness and the joy of the spirit in the present moment. And yeah, that is what this Renovatio retreat, I feel it's about, because Renovatio is renewal, rebirth. So it's being born again into this perception that the Holy Spirit has given us of the forgiven world, the happy dream, the whole new world that God gave us, like because He loves us so much. So for me, it's an acceptance of all the love He has for us into our awareness, and as and letting go of the past. And with that, for myself too, I feel like one of the things that is very like I have been letting go of in my own mind is the sense of responsibility, like thinking in the world, like, I've been responsible for so many things, taking care of my body and of others, and it doesn't matter how it looked. Then as we go deeper, we realize as an experience that we are only responsible for our state of mind. So for me, this is a prayer to come into full acceptance of my only responsibility, which is to accept the atonement for myself, the correction, and live in that space where the spirit flows through me and everything becomes a miracle, like Einstein says, or nothing is a miracle, or everything is a miracle. And we want to go to the everything miracle state of mind together.
Oh, beautiful. Well, plus I think the monastery, it's just so far out in this kind of mystical canyon. It looks like they say sometimes, one of the wonders of the world. It's so vast and expansive and quiet, pristinely quiet out there. And then there's there's deer, there's cows, there's bunny rabbits, there's chipmunks, there's kitty cat, our kitty cat Unity walking around. And so it's just, it's kind of like a otherworldly paradise feeling. And then to be able to just come in and watch the movies. And well, we got this clip. We may talk during the clip, but it gives a bit of the idea of why we watch movies, how we watch movies, and it gives a context, because it's not just watching movies just for entertainment purposes, but it's more to get in touch with what's going on in the mind, the patterns in the mind, and also obviously the thoughts and the beliefs. So, well, I could play it, and then we'll just, if anyone feels to comment during it, we will. We'll just move along here. And then also, I think I have our website. We might be able to have a few photos a little bit later too, which may trigger us to talk about a few more things if we were touched by those. So I'll start here.
You draw well. Renovatio. What does that mean?
I don't know. It's always in my dream.
Elaine, you mentioned.
Yeah. Oh, it just feels so mystical, that line. Like, what is this? It's a symbol. It's always showing up. And then these images of like light and the boat carrying all the white. And so soft.
Movie watching, metaphysics, and mind training. Wow.
You can speed up. Beautiful too. I feel she's this image. They're like together, like the mighty companions. We do this together. We're together in this way.
Yeah, not alone on this journey. Go have a way to wake up. It is new. Make everything new.
So it's the world anew. A whole new world. Right now. A whole new world. Beautiful.
6-day retreat. So maybe we can just share a little bit about what that means. What are the dates, and where is it located? And yeah, please, a little bit of background on what's coming.
Yeah. Well, it will be from June 6th to June 11th, and it will be in Utah at the Living Miracles Monastery, which is in this gorgeous, vast canyon with the Strawberry River running through the canyon. It's very quiet. It's like you barely, like you said, there's no planes, like with the squirrels and the kitty cats and the bunnies, and it's very vast. It's very beautiful. I was sharing with Marina and David earlier. Yeah, when I came for the first time, it was just even entering that scenery, entering the monastery already was like I almost bring into a mystical experience just by entering the canyon. It's like it starts right there, and yeah, it goes like a couple hours from Salt Lake City, I think, drive, But yeah, the monastery is a beautiful, very spacious, beautiful property, and just grass, and you can watch over the canyon. You can just be quiet. You can sit together in the sunshine or under our grace tree. We have a tree, a little grace sign, and it's just, yeah, it's just a very beautiful spaciousness actually to really go inward and to allow whatever is meant to come up through these movies and the depth of it, and to feel held by everyone, because you're going to be there, David, and Jason, Warwick's going to be there, Kirsten Buxton's going to be there. It's going to be a small team of us there, and we have a beautiful group already who signed up and that are just very ready and devoted and ready to dive really deep with these movies. So yeah, I think it's 6 days. We'll have movies, maybe have some sweet, maybe intimate sessions in the Love's Nest, we call it, which is a beautiful, spacious, how do we call it? Like a, I don't know how you call it. What do you call it? Love's Nest? I don't know how else to call it.
That's what we call it. But
That's what we call it. It is a nice
a little structure with a roof and some posts, and then tucked down with rocks, and you kind of
pillows.
Pillows, yeah, cozy, very cozy.
Very cozy. Maybe have some experientials, maybe some singing, maybe together, or yeah, just a very sweet time to be together. That's how it feels like.
Yeah, I think too. With Kirsten likes to do sessions and one-on-one sessions and journaling. Jason will be there to do some levels of mind, which we've been using a lot in our revivals, and then Andy's all fired up now. He put just this past weekend, we put out if you have a prayer request and you need a prayer partner, Andy he's like, I'm available. And then now he's got a whole string of prayer calls and prayer partners. But yeah, I think he's looking forward to that too, to have some in-person prayer one-on-ones at the main house.
Yeah. And the invitation is mainly for participating in the event, but we are also very open to receiving those who have a very strong call and are ready for it, to immerse a bit longer with us and volunteer and be of service in support of the spirit and of the event, to go deeper into the mind training. And like we were seeing in the video, that movie watching is to release the obstacles of the awareness of love's presence, but also we use collaboration and projects and this opportunity, these events as a backdrop for healing and to go deeper together. And like we saw in the movie, we're going deeper in the event, but also there is an opportunity to go deeper, maybe throughout the month, or we can see exact dates closer to the time. But yeah, it's gonna be very, very deep. And like you were saying, Helena and David, it's the space. It's really also facilitates that state of mind of healing and release. And even the title, which we call Renovatio, which is rebirth or renewal, got inspired by that movie that is from the island, and we could see some of that imagery. Like everything was very expansive and pristine, and they were together in this happy dream. And I feel like that's the feeling that we're trying to convey as a prayer of coming together into that state of mind of expansiveness. And yeah, the opportunity is there for the event, but for a longer stay as well.
Yeah, and this world, it's just with all of the typical upheavals of, we had war in Ukraine, and then Gaza, and now Iran, and to go within, like the hermits and mystics and saints have done, where they find a quiet space to pray, to meditate. A lot of people are really looking forward to coming. There was one woman that just wrote to me a couple of days ago, and she was just saying, yeah, I feel like I want the silence of the monastery. So if I am to speak, I want it to be given, and not chatter. I want it to be very given. And so it's quite secluded. It's quite far away from big cities. As Helena was saying, it's 2 hours drive from Salt Lake City. And you go out and you come through the beautiful mountain passes, and it's quite spectacular, even just driving out there. but you go through over a couple mountain passes, and it's very spectacular. And then the canyons with the jagged rocks, and it's when you just go in there, you get held in these canyons as you're winding there, approaching it. And then the monastery, mostly where we'll be for the retreat, is the top part of the monastery on the top of the cliff. And so there's green grass, even though it's high desert. It's like this oasis of green grass and brown wood buildings and decks surrounding everything up there. And so it is kind of like you're a bit into like a pocket of green in the midst of high desert. So you have high desert terrain and then the pocket of green to sit in. I actually can maybe pull up a few photos here too with our share screen. We'll try that as well. Yeah, there's some of the photos.
Beautiful.
Love's Nest, the strawberry pinnacles.
Yeah, there's the pinnacles. And then some little swings that overlook the canyon. You can see the canyon in the background, a fire pit. This is inside the Love's Nest, and there's a chair, I think, right outside the bathhouse.
Yeah.
There's some bedroom, and you can see the canyon. It looks idyllic. Some of these canyon photos with lots of rain, it gets very, very green. And there's the other side of the canyon, and nice lawn areas where you can just put down blankets and just kick back, maybe take a nice drink out and just lay there on a blanket. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And there we have some of the flowers. This is the front of the bathhouse. Indoors. There's one of our cabins. There's 2 cabins. I was just talking to Susanna and Emily about that. I think Raphael is in one of them right now, making lots of calls because he has such a communication function, and the rest are chasing him out of the house, like, go off to your little cabin. These are some of the rooms on the inside.
Yeah, that's the bathhouse there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a shot inside the bathhouse.
The canyon. Some of the rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for this event, like the main event is in the monastery, but for this particular one, the participants are invited to stay in the surroundings nearby, and then driving for the movies with David, and then any other sessions that we might have with Jason or with Kirsten. But we will have every participant is invited to drive in for the session. So we encourage carpooling and people coming together. So it becomes, like a collaborative venture and an adventure for everyone.
Yeah. It's a small town called Duchesne. It's about 30 minutes drive. And I think I hear people have already booked there some rooms at the Best Western, I think. So I think there's already groups joining with carpooling, ride shares. And there's some restaurants, I think, across the street. Yeah.
There's a bit of the Love's Nest, but there's one of the domes that are very insulated, and then another room on the inside. But it's it's quite amazing. Quite amazing. And that's, I think too, just a lot of times people come and just appreciate being with people that they call like-minded, with a very strong sense of sharing the same purpose. And so I know we've had a lot of events, but people come there and then they say, oh my gosh, this person was talking about the very thing I'm going through, or we had these long walks or long talks because I couldn't believe we had all these parallels or all these things in common. And it seems like that's just the natural way the Spirit brings people together when you just follow your inspirations and guidance. And for both of you, even to come together for this, this is part of a prayer. Everything seems to be starts and unfolds in the mind with a prayer in a very deep devotional way. And also it's, once we get into June, the weather starts warming up in the high desert a little bit. It can be kind of coolish sometimes in May, or a mix of warm and cool, but it's really beautiful that way. And then I think we're all feeling like this is like a rebirth, a renewal. This is a start. So it's kind of exciting for us to see what will unfold with the newness. We were talking about welcome to the new, and it does have that feeling like it's just so wide open. And Utah is an amazing place. So we've had a lot of times where we had mystery schools there that were longer, for weeks, 3 weeks or more, where we would go out on excursions, take the van, and it's got, oh my gosh, all kinds of mountains and canyons. And I know when I fly over Utah, I just keep looking out the window, because every 5 minutes the scene changes completely. And I just am like, oh my God, I can't believe there's so much diversity of scenes instead of just kind of the same scene looking out the plane. It's just quite spectacular. So that's a lot of fun too. But that has the feel for the summer. Like it can be some adventures. Some of you have enjoyed watching Robert Redford in Horse Whisperer and many movies. What's the one with the golfing movie?
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Legend of Bagger Vance. Oh my God! Robert Redford made that movie, and his daughter still lives in out there, I believe, in Provo Canyon. His daughter is a filmmaker too, who made was it the Red something? It was where she was. Red Guitar. It was the guitar. It was a red. It's called The Guitar, which was such a healing movie. That was her first movie that she made, but Robert Redford passed away, and now Sundance Film Festival has moved out of Park City over to Colorado. But here it is. Renovatio is kind of in the cradle of these kind of Sundance movies, a tradition of kind of off Hollywood, deep probing movies where young filmmakers could come together. And when we pray on movies, we really pray to go very deep into the mystical experience of love and joy and connectedness, to really feel God's presence. So a lot of our movie clips, but also our movies are, every Saturday here on the Revival, we're just, what have we got this week? And already we had a meeting today, so stay tuned for Saturday. It's always an exciting leap to see what's going to come through, and we all were like quite amazed with the movie that's coming through for this week, and the theme that's coming through for this week. But that with the Renovatio, it's more on a day-by-day basis. In fact, if we really feel it, we can't even show more than one movie a day, because we have the spaciousness for that. And if it comes in as like an answer to a prayer for somebody going through something, it may just drop the perfect movie for that situation. That's very exciting.
Because that's the beauty of it, that there is no predetermined plan. We don't know in advance what movies we're going to show or how the sessions are going to be, but we just all come with a prayer for healing and expansiveness and joining in the connection and the love, and then we just pray, and then the movie comes through, and that is what we do. Like follow the spirit in the moment. So it feels very alive and very relevant for all of the participants and all of us, because like you were saying, David, it's an answer to prayer. And so we put out a prayer, and then spirit orchestrates time and space for the healing. So yeah, it's going to be very, very deep and profound for all of us.
Yeah. I feel everybody can really come with their prayer and share your prayer, and then just watch how the spirit answers your prayer, because all prayers are answered. And it's really beautiful to watch actually in a retreat too, like how the spirit orchestrates things. It could be through certain movies or session, or even just a very simple holy encounter over lunch. Like we never know how but the spirit's going to move all the puppets. And I don't know, that's like you were both sharing, like this is not a pre-planned retreat. Like it's gonna be an experience of the guidance, like with us. Like it's gonna be a very vibrant and alive experience. Well, even when you're there, you can feel that. It's like it's moment by moment, and so many opportunities to share what's on your heart and just like put it on the altar. And yeah, there's a lot of interaction, but I love that so much, like just to see how people come. Like I heard it so many times, it was life-changing. People feel like even to come for 6 days, it's not a small thing. It can actually set you off on a whole new trajectory. Like if you really have that prayer in your heart, then just watch how the spirit's going to answer that prayer for you, and just watch all the miracles unfold. It's not for a person, it's to even witness all the miracles of all the mighty companions there. And just, I know, so many blessings you see unfold in these retreats. It's very, very inspiring. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, it's like our movie watcher's guide to enlightenment come alive. You're just there in the live event. Not too long ago, I think Helena, you and Erpy were showing a mini movie of Chances Are, and these are I call them classics, because they're radical glimpses into a new way of being. You were saying in that movie, it was like there's such a connection and love, and people are aware sometimes with friendships, but sometimes with friendships there can still be quite a lot of strong expectations that are part of it, or best friends or besties. But this movie was like taking us deeper and deeper into a very vast love that transcends the roles and transcends what we would consider typical relationships, because I think we find that it's helpful to have some kind of examples that are witnesses that show that there's something more. Because without that glimpse into something more, then it does seem like the mind gets into like a rut or a groove. And Jesus would call it like specialness, special relationships. But to transcend that is not just in words or wishful thinking, but actually to be able to pause the movie and let the emotions come up, and oh my God, this is what I'm feeling here. And sometimes even just the very instant that the movie is paused, what's on the screen is the perfect moment, frozen. That even that little, it's almost like a snapshot, just sends us off into an experience because of the synchronicities. There's nothing by accident. Even the pause in a movie can do that. And we all love the soundtracks and the music, how it touches us. And so it just feels like it's a very much of a all-encompassing way to go through emotional healing and get down to some very deeply rooted thoughts and beliefs. Because if you're not aware of them, then you can't really let them go. They're more just like unconsciously running the show. But the movies give us like a little peek into the mind, and really helps. I think they speed up mind watching.
Yeah, And yeah, when you were speaking also, I was thinking, yeah, we're praying for a future different from the past. And for that, we need to allow the miracle to come in. And then you were saying, like, we can go deeper into the mind and then see what are our beliefs. But then when there is a healing and we can allow the love of God or the peace of God to come into our heart, that saves us, like you were saying, just eons and eons of times. Like, I think in one part she says, if you had the faintest, like, awareness of the love of God, like, you have saved yourself many thousands of years. So that is what we're doing together too, like collapsing the need for time to come to the present moment experience.
I feel too that, because I've watched many movies in my life, but just when I started watching the movies through MWG and with your commentary, David, I just remember, like, oh my God, oh, whoa, boom, boom, like so many insights, like one after another. It's a completely new way. Like, it's the modern day use of modern day parables, but it's like, it's so deep. You start to see things in your mind that you're not aware of. You really become aware of things, even if you've watched a movie many times, and the commentary is different every time, but it's the same, and yet it's different, and it just like these little light bulbs go off in our mind, like boom, 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 boom. I remember that right before I came and joined community, like the first time I watched movies with this purpose. It was mind-blowing. I couldn't stop watching movies too with the commentary. Like, I was kind of addicted to it. So it's like, well, this is great if you already love watching movies, like, but the spirit can use it all in like a really, yeah, like you say, like it can just save time. Like the miracle saves time, and like it just saves eons. But just the insights that come so fast when you watch it with this purpose and with the commentary, it's amazing. Like how quick the insights can come, and the healing, and even the emotions with the movies, like just to allow that up. We always have a lot of Kleenex boxes, so it's all available. We know there's emotions that will come up, and the support will be there too, like to move through these deep emotions. And then, yeah, I don't know, even that feeling of the rebirth, it's like, yeah, when we allow something up to be released, that's when the feeling of rebirth comes into, like, feels like a cleansing, like you've just got baptized or something. It's just a cleanse, like a rebirth, a renewal. And I feel that every time when there's a movie or we have a movie gathering and it's just something very deep gets unclogged and released, it's amazing. And then the mind is freed up to hear the Holy Spirit, to hear, okay, what is it for me? What's the next step? Or what else needs to be released so that I can come into my function and into my purpose and my life's calling? Like, it's just to rinse everything away that's in the way of stepping fully towards this, yes, and into our life's calling for happiness. But it's so beautiful to watch how the rinsing happens. I remember it was different too. It was Strawberry last year, but a lady came and was very nervous and had a lot of questions. And at the very end, it was only 3 days. This is 6 days. 3 days. She left barefoot dancing. Like, she left barefoot dancing on the rocky road. She was the one that was just like, and she was, maybe she was from the city, but she was, I don't know, just the transformation I've watched. It was so gorgeous. Like, it's so beautiful. And you always take that with you. Like, you always bring that with you wherever you go. Like, you never go back. Like, it's truly a rebirth. Like, yeah.
It's really opens the mind to something beyond like the standard, go to the movies, get the refreshments, be entertained, come out, and off you go in your car. And here at the end of the movies, the emotions are up, people have raising their hands, questions. I want to go into this, and this scene really touched me, and then somebody speaks up, and it triggers somebody on the other side of the room that's like, well, I had a feeling during that scene too, and then it gets people talking about the mind and about the emotions and about releasing what's been held down and repressed. And then also for people that feel like I need some time to process when my emotions come up, there's the spaciousness to just take a walk down the canyon road, or take a walk around the property or just sit in the swing and swing gently while you're looking out over the canyon, you know, processing, reflecting on things. I think for many, they need a spaciousness. You know, it's they're just used to the world of commerce and advertising and sound bites and just a quick flow of news and information and data, and then this is like a time to let go and say, no, I'm going to give myself a gift. It's kind of like going to a spa, but instead of just soaking in a hot tub or being in some kind of a climate that facilitates it, this is more like we actually do have hot tubs, and people can do that as well. They kind of turn the movie watching healing spa treatment is all kind of at once. But I think just to be around people who are all wanting to go through the healing when they watch movies together, that is just such a gem, because then you meet people. It's orchestrated by the Spirit. You meet someone in the kitchen when you're going in to get a cup of coffee. You meet somebody in the bathhouse. You meet somebody on a walk, and then these conversations strike up, and they're very heartfelt and meaningful, and it feels very profound. It just doesn't feel casual at all, like casual meetings. It's like feeling of it's orchestrated to go much deeper. So I think that's beautiful. I just appreciate that.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, yeah, like if you are listening to this and you have a swirl, like anyone is just invited just to purchase their ticket. But if there is someone out there who like hasn't experienced yet a movie with David, like we also have these revivals, which happen weekly on the weekends, and they're completely free. And in a sense, they do feel like a rebirth, because they're like 3 days, like there are 3 days, and we always say, oh, Friday feels like the crucifixion, and then we have a very deep movie on Saturdays, like to wash everything, and then on Sunday is the resurrection. So yeah, so there is a very open invitation to everyone to join us for that. But if that resonates with your heart, then you're invited to come deeper with us for a full week. To feel like to be with us in a held space where you feel safe, where all of emotions can rise up, like David was saying. Like you can go for walks and give yourself the space and time to really immerse in these teachings, because the healing is continuous, but it's such a gift when we are with others joined in the same purpose for a dedicated period of time. It just speeds up everything for us, because we feel safe to go through that healing. That otherwise the fear level could be too high if we're on our own, but we're together and we're watching movies, which is very enjoyable, very relaxing, not threatening. And then our defense has gone down, and then we can accept the lesson and the healing for us. So,
Yeah. A lot of times people use it for quiet and meditation because it's so different from their daily life in the city and their work. But I have to say, these revivals we've been having, I mean, there's the music's been coming in, we just had a theme, no time, no future. And Marina was saying everyone was just sprawled out, just watching and everything. And yet the last 2 Saturday nights, the visual dance music, the mixtures of EDM and I think of Pete and Eric harmonizing on the last one, just from songs that came very quickly and spontaneously, and we could have these music videos that have very deep, profound lyrics from very deep teachings from things I've done or my friend Rest has done. So it just kind of lifts you and takes your mind. I know they've just moved a big screen over to the monastery, so it's like having a big movie screen at the end of the movie room, and then with these videos, you get a good sound system, and that we have had a lot of dance parties just break out, sometimes inside the space, but then there are decks. We have a big deck that we call the superstructure. It's really good for dancing, especially when there's no chairs. Freestyle dancing, you just get a speaker out there and get an iPhone, and boom, you just go with it. But I think the music too is so strong, and it's just becoming more and more prominent and more prominent that yeah, I think as you start to go into these states of mind, that you start to realize what Jesus says, I think at the beginning of chapter 15, the holy instant. Can you imagine what it's like to have your mind perfectly quiet all the time? That is what time is for, to learn just that and nothing more. But with the music too, there's such a swirl. And over the years, I've just given myself full permission just to spend huge amounts of hours each day listening to music and praying and meditating. And when you're coming out of the workaday world, or in my case, university, the mind is so active, and it's just like it's running and racing. And then we need to give ourselves over to more like that childlike wonder, like that song, we never forget the wonder. It's like when you're 4 or 5 years old and you just play all day, and then you don't really think about time. It's like time goes by without its touch upon you. It's like it seems more natural that way when the mind isn't focused on segmenting time and scheduling things. And I think that's something that I've always appreciated about the monastery, is you can get out there, and we've had some times where we do collaborative projects to get things ready, but then we had these stretches of time where there's just no structure, and it feels so natural and so free to live a life like that. And a woman who just wrote to me a couple of days ago, was like, yeah, I think I just want to live at the monastery. And kind of it was more the feeling like, yeah, I've done many things, but I don't really fit into the time scheduled workaday, time pressure lifestyle. It's like I want to just relax and have meaningful conversations, and if I'm going to use words at all, I want them to be very meaningful and very purposeful, not just chattering. So it's kind of a rare opportunity in that sense, because many times people yearn for that, but they don't even know what they would need to do to kind of move in that direction. But then they find themselves out there at the monastery. Everything's pristinely quiet. You might see a bird, a hawk flying over, or you're suddenly staring at a squirrel or a chipmunk, or if you're down below, the cows seem to wander from the ranch, and then you just looking into the eyes of a cow. There's just those kind of things just come up in a very natural way. And it's not like you're trying to do a technique or anything. You're just relaxed and saying, yeah, this is the way I want to live. I want to live this way. And we were just talking this morning, that to me, that's really part of the rebirth, to give ourselves full permission to loosen from the timeline and the seeming responsibilities on the timeline, because we've been wired that way. We've been wired that productivity or achievements or even efficiency, after a while, it's like, I'd rather just be still than be efficient, whereas we spent so much time trying to be efficient. And there was a value to it, but it was more just to drop us off into a state of mind. It wasn't meant to be an end in itself. It was just a way of getting our mind ready and trained to just let go. So it feels like, it feels like that's what summertime was always to me. school year was not always the thing I was most excited about. I was more interested in recess or field trips, and especially summertime. When we got to spring break, it was like, okay, it's close. And then once I got into like June, which is right about the time Renovatio starts, then the warm sun came and the carefree days of not being on the clock and not really caring about the movement of time at all. The spontaneity of, hey, you want to take a trip into Duchesne, and then you go in there and you find a little cafeteria or a little restaurant, and then they've got live music, and it's like, oh my God. And then you just start chatting with the people, and there's a spaciousness too, because Duchesne is a very, very small town. So when you go in there, they strike up conversations. They want to talk. I remember one time going, it was snowing, like a snow squall. And then Paulina and Gabrielle, her husband Gabrielle, we said, let's go into Duchesne. So we just drove a little way. We got out of the snow squall. By the time we got to Duchesne, it was bright sunshine. We went into this little cafe, and an older man who I've seen in that cafe came in, and he was very, very psychic. And our friends Paulina and Gabrielle were from Brazil. They both spoke English, but he just smiled and looked and got over, and then he came over and he kind of did like a psychic reading on both of them. He spent like 5 minutes on each of them, just walked over and told them everything about their life. And they're in rural Utah, in Duchesne, just with the biggest eyes, like, oh my God, like, what was that? And I said, yeah, there's no accidents. There's nothing out of place. You just drew that to you from this old farmer who's just in God and in the glory of God, having a happy life farming in a very slow pace and very nurturing, but also very psychic. In that case, on the way back, they were like, wow, never seen anything like that. And those are the kind of encounters that you can have and that we want. We want deep, meaningful connections. We don't want to go from soundbite to soundbite or seemingly event to event. We like to feel like we're just being carried along, like Jesus said, on a quiet day in summer. We like to feel that way. We want to feel carried along like a quiet day in summer. And so that I always look forward to summer for those reasons. And mainly it was unstructured time. I think that was the most important thing, because school was so structured with periods and bells ringing and scurrying down a hall to make it into a classroom so you didn't get a detention. And, it was like a time consequences thing. And this is not, I don't think it's really natural for the mind and for the heart. So that's kind of exciting.
It's a playful playground.
Yeah, a playground. I think that's better. We're supposed to experience, when we're not having a soft, playful day, then I think the spirit is nudging us. Yeah, reconsider, reconsider your devotions.
Yeah. I think someone mentioned on the weekend, if you knew how many opportunities you have to gladden yourself, like the spirit is always inviting us to gladden ourselves. And this is an invitation to gladden ourselves. And yeah, following the spirit is the greatest joy of all. But yeah, we have to follow. We have to accept the invitation and follow. Radical following.
Yes.
Because I'm just like, the guidance comes in and we have a swirl in our heart and we are saying, oh yes, I will love it. But the ego is so quick to rush in with all of the but you can't because of this and this. But this is a completely new way of thinking. It's saying, I heard the invitation, I accept it, I follow it, and then see how, if there is anything that needs being taken care of, it's going to be taken care of through prayer and by the Spirit, to release the mind of the belief that we have to take care of ourselves and we are responsible of planning for ourselves, but instead give all of the plans to the Holy Spirit and saying, you drive, I'll ride, like a Greg O song.
Yeah. I think it starts with the invitation. Like, we're giving a big warm invitation. Come, just give yourself these 6 days to have a life-changing experience, like Elena said. And then when we answer the call and we answer the invitation, then that's the way it's gone for me in my life. That's lots of invitations came, first in the United States, and then United States and Canada, and then South America, Argentina, and then it just went boom, boom, boom around to the world. But it's a very different life when you're just following invitations to go deep, invitations to have deep, meaningful encounters, heart to heart, really open-minded. That's very precious. And then a lot of my early years were just very spontaneous. I was in a car, so I had a lot of flexibility. But in particular, this part of the United States is it's very beautiful. It's in Utah, it's very beautiful. Then it's just the next state over is Colorado Rocky Mountains. Every time I drive a little bit through the deserts and go all the way through Utah, then I just hit these majestic mountains, and it's bright, green or bright red, and it's just, I start hearing John Denver songs. I go driving into my car and I'm hearing Colorado Rocky Mountain High, and it's like, talk to God and listen to the casual reply. I'm like, yeah, I can see why he wrote those lyrics, because I feel it. I could just drive around and not just go to little towns in the mountains and just get lost in the Rocky Mountains. And then if you drive to the south a little bit, it's the Grand Canyon and Sedona. It's just spectacular. Even the drive there and back is just like mind-blowing. And then if you decide to go west over towards our friend Jeffrey, who's got his ministry, Last Step Ministry in Reno, you have to drive past the salt flats. And the salt flats are just white, for as white as you can imagine, just for miles, hundreds of miles. And I think there was a Anthony Hopkins movie was filmed on the salt flats, the world's fastest Indian or something like that, where they used to have automobile races out there. It was so smooth and flat and white on these salt flats. It's just, again, another wonder of the world. I mean, there's no other place in the world where you can go and it's just miles and miles and miles of just white, flat, like marble white. It's just unheard of. And then if you keep going, then you go into Nevada, and then you go near Jeffrey's place, and then you hit all the mountains again of kind of right over there near California. His place is, Reno's right on the edge, and so it's all beautiful green forest. I mean, it's a beautiful area it's a playground even. I mean, I grew up in Cincinnati, so I had a muddy river, and when I found some of these places, that's why Robert Redford never left. He went all over the world, and then when he got here and found these sites, he just started building a whole town. Grew up in Provo Canyon, and still there, even though he just passed. And it's just a nice backdrop for holy encounters. There's a spaciousness to it, so it doesn't have the hustle and bustle. And in general, I mean, of course, Utah is known for the Mormons, but it's just a friendly. They're just so friendly, so relaxed, so take the time out of the day to talk and chat and feel the connection and love. And I think those are just symbols. If we see everything as mind, those are all just symbols of the mind, of a softness, of not harshness or a push or a sense of needing to make something happen or force something. I know we were talking about allowance, and then I guess this morning, Marina, you were bringing up this feeling after this weekend, like full acceptance, like come into full acceptance, just accepting everything exactly as it is without a drive or a push to change something or make something different. Very relaxing. Allowance and acceptance. Hey, that's our
Amen.
no concepts, no, just allowance and acceptance. 2 steps. Hi, I'm a child of God, and I'm working on my step number 1, allowance, and my step number 2, acceptance.
I'm in AA.
Marie's like, oh yes, okay. I'm in.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Oh. Sweet.
Yeah. Well, it's beautiful. Well, if you feel the nudge, then we showed you the video here. You may want to rewatch the video on our Living Miracles YouTube channel, because that's an experience in itself. It's so soft and kind of gives you a feel for what's underneath and what it's all for. And yes, we do have all the way through March, we have these weekend revivals, the Way of the Mystic revivals. And wow, it's just like the colors of the rainbow every weekend. It's just amazing. We're taken in on Friday night, and then all Saturday, and then into Sunday, which now the Sunday mornings are spanning off into through the noontime and into the afternoon. But it's just an experience of gratitude and lots of happy, smiling faces and lots of waving and hearts and balloons and little emoticons and a lot of sparkles everywhere with it. And I think even that that's what we want. We want those kind of witnesses that make our hearts swell, and we have a swirl going on where we feel alive in the moment and grateful, because this world was set up by the ego so that we wouldn't feel gratitude. We would feel fear and guilt and shame. And this experience of heart opening is just the opposite of all of that. It's very, 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 very soft. Feels very natural. So from all of us, we're just sending a big, big invitation. Check it out. And even if you watch the video and you think, I'm curious, but then maybe go to mwge.org and there's reviews there. If you just want to go through some reviews, you might go, oh, I saw that one. What's it got to say about that? And read some reviews. And then if you want to, I don't know, there's a 2 or 3 levels of going in to subscribe, to go in deeper to it. And for the ones that go all the way into the movie subscriptions, like Elena's talking about, it's just mind-blowing, the movies and the commentary. Elena said she got addicted to it. Were you over there in Holland? Just all watching movies. Okay, on to the next. Because I have some friends, Ashley Aberson and her partner. They go all over the world now, but they take their subscription to MWG with them. Okay, they get settled, get in the the place they're staying, get everything right. Okay, let's get the internet hooked up here, and let's get into MWGE. And until you've gone in there and you've gone through the experience, you don't really kind of know what it is. It's like you're going into a cave of discovery, and then when you get in there, it's like, oh my God. But if you do this, it's only beginning of March, but if you give yourself a couple of months of this, and then you just go, oh my God, then you just think, oh yeah, and there'll be people who are also doing the same thing. And a lot of the ones that show up at Renovatio are people that are regulars into mwge.org, and they're just like, what's it going to be? And I want to be there live for one of those experiences. And yeah, you may be hooked for life though if you just farewell. Yeah.
Well, we have our friend Giovanni. So, well, we have our friend Giovanni who like actually first subscribed to MWGE, and he was hooked on it and really enjoying it all. And then for years and immersing in all of the teachings. And then he found that we were doing the revivals, and then he joined into the live sessions. And then he said, I want to give my life to Jesus 24/7. And we were like, yes, Giovanni. And then we invited him to Renovatio. So he's going to be with us there. And then also now apparently he's also coming to another event we're having in Mexico, which is Strawberry Fields Fiesta. So that is another opportunity for movies and music. But in the States and in the Canyons, it's mainly dedicated to movies. But also what I found so beautiful about MWGE is that it has a feature, which is an oracle. So like what I still do, and I still use it, because when you go to it with a sincere prayer, like you hit the oracle, and like the recommendations that come in, it's like a reflection of the mind, you know, because it always answers it perfectly to whatever is it that I have present. So it's also like I find it very helpful, especially at the beginning, because I didn't know too many movies. I didn't even know what to watch or what could be helpful. So at the beginning, I would just hit the oracle and it would give me the perfect recommendation. I would follow, and I was like, wow, that movie is amazing. But it just also shows a glimpse of what it's like with a retreat with us, because we all come with a prayer, and then the Spirit gives the answer and from prayer, and then we all experience the healing together. But that's another way to use MWG, which I found very joyful.
Yeah, for some people they're not too ready for ChatGPT. The Oracle precedes with the popularity of ChatGPT, but it's just praying and closing your eyes, touching the oracle, and then trusting the recommendation. And then, oh my God, we hear all kinds of stories and miracles. Like, oh my God, I can't imagine. I just prayed and touched the oracle button, and then I was like just taken through my healing process through that, because nothing's random. You know, that's the beautiful thing. It's all orchestrated by the Holy Spirit. No accidents, everything that we seem to need to light up, and then to stay lit, you know, stay consistently lit up in happiness and joy. And it's a good way to come off the timeline. You know, that's something that people think of it with meditation, but for many people, it's quite difficult to still their mind, even through meditation, because they're so swept up in the movement of linear time and the thoughts. But then when you have all these resources and you start just intuitively tapping into them, then it's like you can really start to drop in pretty quickly. And that's a gift. Yeah, it's priceless. A quiet mind is no small gift. It's the greatest gift. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me in this. And I look forward to all of us being up there and inviting and welcoming our beloveds who come from wherever they're coming from. And I think we just put it out a while ago, but already there's about 13 or 14 people signed up. And I don't know the capacity there of our movie room, but I think it's going to be great. It's going to be just perfect. We just trust. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you.
See you there.
See you there.